Yeah, can you see the document?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what the research proposal, what you are supposed to prepare for your final and assessment, right? So last week we understand how to identify the research title with real world situations. So I said when you do the research proposal, examiners first look at whether your research title is scientific enough, right? And whether your research title is having the variable connection. Okay, right. So that's the first part of it. 1 minute. Right. So that's what we discussed. And you make sure when you develop a research topic whether it carries this one, right? I said whether it carries variables. So this part is very important. Variables. This is very important, right? And I have given some example like for this one. If you look at it, relationship between employee brand knowledge is a one variable, and employee commitment another variable, right? So you also make sure your title to carry this at least two variables. I think you understood that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And going forward, second, the main thing what I mentioned was having compiled your research title. Now we are in the process of developing a research proposal. So this is the normal, process of developing research proposal. Actually speaking, steps of a research proposal. Start with background of the study. I said you to write 1.5 pages. You basically write in the background definitions of the main variables, brief about their interconnection. So if you look at, for an example, I'm telling you, like, let's see, employee motivation and job performance of employees in garment factories in Dubai. So that is your topic. And then in the background, you are supposed to write not the garment industry. So this is where people do mistake as background. Your scope is garment or fashion industry, but you talk about briefing the definition. What is employee motivation? What is employee performance? How people have defined it, whether it has different subcomponents, and you have to prove that, brief about the interconnection, prove that with the literature, right? Even last week I show you how to write literature. When employee motivation is increased, their performance will also be increased, right? So that connection you have to prove. This is called background. And within the background, you talk about last part, brief about the scope. Now your scope is what? Garment or fashion industry in Dubai. So now you have to explain the size of the fashion market, how many companies are operating, what is the labor force size, because there are some statistical formal sources you to cite. And if possible, right, if you are lucky enough, you can search and find it. You can find few articles done focus in Dubai fashion market or apparel market. They also discuss about the employee issues, job commitment issues, employee welfare problems, all this stuff. You cite and say your research you are doing on Dubai, you are doing for apparel industry. So your research scope is very valid to study. That's called background, right? Okay. Now your research topic, you have some idea about research topic, or you are still searching for that?
Actually, what I have done, I tried to keep focusing on the same subject we have discussed last time, which is the hotel knowledge brand and also the commitment. and I've tried to do some search in order to check what is the variables between, and also to look after some interconnections as you have highlighted. But just to understand exactly, because as I said to you last time, so I'm someone who is always searching for the criteria, for the requirements. For doing the researches, this is something which is new for me. I'm doing my best to get in line with it.
Right. Today I will show you a research proposal document as an example. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And so that's in a research proposal. The first step is basically done. Second step, as I mentioned, research problem and research problem statement. I said how to justify the research gaps. No need to go that very complex right up, because I know your level 6, level 7, they do not go very deep and analyze it, right? But basis you maintain, basis, right? Essentially, like I mentioned here, you have a couple of few papers and say, if I look at the last week thing, last week I mentioned this one, right? This one, employee knowledge, and within the hotel sector should be further investigated, right? So this area is a significant research area for different countries. Likewise, you can't find exactly to the point they say your title, your research topic, but you are just hanging around, right? You have to pick somewhere and create a story that your two variables and the industry you refer have been cited, mentioned, explained, proposed by different authors as a further investigation area in research, right? That is what you need to do as a research gap, and just write 1.5 pages. So then finally, the same research topic you convert into a question statement. That is called research problem statement, what I mentioned here. So I have given the example also, right? This is the example. Now you can find it example. What is the relationship between employee brand knowledge and employee commitment of 5-star hotel sector in Sri Lanka? Likewise, you, after writing 1 or 2 paragraphs about the research gaps, research proposals mentioned by others, you simply summarize and say, therefore, this study, the research problem statement is this, right? So that's what we discussed. Then once the problem statement done, you talk about research aims and objectives. I mentioned those stuff. No need to waste further time, right? So that's how it has to go, and please follow the same document. And I have sent you the document where you can exactly use as it is for your proposal writing work. Right.
Okay.
This part, are you okay? What we discussed last week, research objectives and the question thing?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Before I do go to my the today's PowerPoint slide, so I'm going to extend this same thing into the next level, because I'm talking yet your research proposal. Number 1 is done, number 2 done, number 3 done, and then the number 4 of your research proposal. Then we are going for a new area. That's why I just want to finish it off. It is called significance of the study. Topic number 4 in your proposal, right? Significance of the study, because you have to say that your research is a very important piece of work for mainly 2 areas. One is that if you happen to do this research one day, you will make it as a public document, right? Maybe you can print and put a library, or at least you can archive to your one of the digital assets, right? Or you can publish as a research paper. So the day you do that, actually you are satisfying this area called significance of the study. One significance or importance of what you do, your research is contributing to new knowledge, right? New knowledge about the variables you investigated, but applicable to a special industry you mentioned in the study. Now, this one is basically 5-star hotels. So that is called, you need to say that your research will be a good contribution for knowledge. And this is called contribution to knowledge. You write like one or two paragraph about, because your research, you are investigating the variables, you are going to investigate their interconnection, right? And you connect your research into a special industry, right? So all are new knowledge. So that's, you can claim that this research could contribute to new knowledge, right? So that is what we call contribute to knowledge. The second part is called contribute to practice, or we call managerial applications. Actually, the second part you can easily write. You can say your research one day will be a decision-making supportive tool for different managers. In this case, I can say contribution to managerial applications, like most of the hotel sector, human resource managers, banquet managers, even team leaders and supervisors can think how to motivate the employees for them to commit for the hotel brand, right? So those things, why you were able to say to your research, because you had some idea to contribute to the industry. Likewise, you have to highlight how far your research and the findings of your research, right? Findings. The day you have to, actually you are not doing. If you happen to do the data collection, interview the customers, employees likewise, and then you can do a good analysis, and then you can present by proposing the company level decisions to be made. It is called managerial applications, simply called practical applications. Now, this is how you are supposed to develop the significance of the study part, right? Okay. So up to now, actually speaking, the first part of the proposal writing is done. Second part, but the topic goes as this way, is a new area. We call it as literature review. In a proposal, this is going to be the scientific part of the proposal. Scientific means formal. I put in red color. Literature review. Okay, now mock list, right? Have you heard about this term called literature review?
No, never.
Right. Maybe you have heard about the research articles, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Literature review is going to be the formal or scientific assessment of your proposal. So what you need to say that, right? You to say that take at least 5, 6 research articles. If you take one article, now I will show you. There are different authors' names they have mentioned. Simply you can use the same, but just change the words, right? And show that you are not duplicating some others' work. Because at the beginning, this is how you have to start learning things. So the simple stories in literature review, you need to perfectly explain, not like the way you just explain the first topic, first chapter, or first part of the proposal. You need to perfectly explain, right? You know, the main variables you have used in your study, right? You have done a slight explanation in the first chapter, that's fine. But literature review means it's a completely a dedicated part for writing, explaining about the variables you took based on previous studies, or maybe at least book chapters. So this is what we call literature review. So let me show one example, right? 1 minute. Right, I'm going to share you the document now. Okay, can you see the Word document I shared now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a comprehensive research proposal, like background, all this stuff available. Here, what I'm going to tell you in your proposal after writing up to significance of the study. It's the same way what I taught you, research problem, research questions, research objectives. You know the topic significance of the study?
Mm-hmm.
This is the way you have to write. I think our topic numbers were a bit of different, right? Maybe number 6 or number 7, that won't be a problem.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right. So significance of study, you write like 1 or 2 paragraph. This student has done few things, and if you need it, you can put limitations to study if needed. Now we come to the literature review. But when you prepare a proposal, you are not writing chapter 1, chapter 2. Proposal means intent to do a research, intention. So you basically write the same way, topic number, I think 7 or 8, just put and do it. However, the main topic of that should be literature review, right? So how we do the literature review, you start with your first independent variable. So you had a variable called brand knowledge, but actually it was employee brand knowledge, but you can start with the common domain and then slowly connect your employee brand knowledge as a subtopic if needed, right? So what I want to say is the way you write it. 1 minute. Now I think much clear to you, right?
Yeah.
Now can you see some citations here?
Mm-hmm.
example citations. Hope you can see, right?
Yes.
So this is called academic writing or scientific writing. So you need to explain the variables what you brought into your research topic. So this person has used brand knowledge as the main independent variable. Independent variable.
Yes.
So he has explained it, defining what is brand knowledge, what is a brand, right? Some ideas like that. And when you write this, there is different sentence pattern. Like on the other hand, like you think you are explaining this to a person in front of you. That's the style of writing literature. You meanwhile connecting to this conclusively. Likewise, you need to write that conjunction, right? So that is what you call the literature review. Now, when you do that, as I mentioned here, if possible, you can write sub-dimensions as well. So brand knowledge has one sub-dimension, as paragraph wise is mentioned. Employees brand knowledge, customer brand knowledge, likewise, but you are actually focused on the employee side, not customer. But you can just explain, put in some citations, explain. This is how other scholars, practitioners, explain the variable. So this process we call LR. LR means literature review. I will show you with evidence. After writing 1 or 2 pages or 3 pages about literature review, you can prove that how far these 2 variables or 3 variables have been, connected to each other. So this is what we are actually identifying as a literature review. Actually, there are some softwares to do it, but better you not to do that much and take few articles, and based on the article's main point, you simply elaborate it. So this is what we call literature review of a research proposal, right? Now, Mokils, if you have any question, please ask now.
Oh, it's clear. It's clear. So I will do my best.
Okay, right.
Because as I said, so I'm a technical guy, so this is something which is hard for me, but I will do my best.
Okay, and even you can follow the recordings again and see that. Okay.
I will try.
Right. So that what I wanted to highlight in the document thing. Now we are here. So you can put 5.1, 5.2. If you have 3 variables, 5.3. Likewise, explain it. So now up to literature review first part and second part of literature review, I assume that we are done. You can start writing and check whether it really connects to the intended research work, right? So that is called literature review thing. However, when you write a literature review, there are some techniques to follow that I'm going to show you with a PowerPoint presentation, right? Okay. So this is what is a PowerPoint presentation thing we are going to do. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, right. 1 minute. I will come to this slide later. Now, this is about the literature review. Maybe you are a cat, but you want to see the lion inside of it. Means you are talking about two simple variables, but when you write the literature review topics based on the main variables, you write even the big picture of the research. Okay. Now, for an example, otherwise you stuck. You can't find too much of article, right? Now, Mohammed, what is your main area? Your professional background is what?
Quality. I'm quality engineering.
You are engineering.
Yeah, I'm quality engineer in the aerospace field.
Okay, right. As per your initial education stuff with the engineering side, just tell me one or two concepts normal you study.
I studied the mechanical for compute CNC machining. Do you have an idea about CNC machining?
Mm.
Numerical computerized.
Mm.
So
Okay.
actually what we do, so we get a part and then we take the measurements, then we try to make a program, then we download that program, move it to a computer, then we start the machining based on a reference point.
Okay, right. So we will take a very general one, then everyone can identify, right? Let me take example. You are going to do research about social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Social media and let's see, customer purchase behavior. You know that this is something our day-to-day life, right?
Okay.
You have seen advertisement in LinkedIn, Facebook. Because of that, you love to purchase. You connected to the website. Maybe you search further and finally you thought and you ordered the product. You got my point?
Yes.
Okay, this is what is happening. But let's see, one student wants to investigate this as a research. He or she comes to the research topic, influence of social media on customer purchasing behavior with reference to, you can put different names, fashion brands, food and beverage brands, or whatever. Now, let's see if you are going to write the literature review. In short form, we call LR, literature review. Right? Because this is where you can write something, to cover the word count challenge, right? One topic, what you're going to write is, you're going to write social media, right? Now you write, let's say you wrote 500 words about social media. Social media can be defined as this way, that way. There are different social media options, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok, all these different applications of social media you explain, right? and you wrote 500 words. But actually, you want to investigate Facebook, not others, right? But rather, you are writing the Facebook, you write social media, because social media is a big picture. Understand?
Yeah.
So that's the tricky thing you should do when you write the research proposal literature review. Don't write exactly your variable, then you will be stuck. Understood? So then after writing social media, you will write maybe 1.1 or subtopic within that. Facebook and customer and usage of Facebook in, let's say, Dubai. So you are doing your research in Dubai. Dubai is the scope of your study. Now you explain this one. What is Facebook? What was the year started? Right? What is the information model of Facebook? What are the different applications of Facebook? What are the challenges Facebook faced? Right? Ups and downs of Facebook. All these things you explain. Actually, your research is to investigate how Facebook campaigns will influence the customer behavior or customer purchasing behavior. Rather, you write the Facebook, you write a big picture. That is completely okay. If you don't write the big picture, broad idea, rather focus into a special idea, probably examiners might think you have no proper idea about literature review. So that's how you need to organize the literature review part.
It's like we start with if I remember very well, you are talking about the aim is social media.
Yes.
And now we start the breakdown. It's like objectives.
Yes, correct. Right.
Okay.
You first write the total background and then write the area you want to write.
Okay.
So that is the strategy you can follow to show that your literature review covers many topics, many concepts, right? Rather narrowly focus into your research title only. That's why there are two things called literature review and literature survey. Sometimes research methodology books, they use the term called literature survey. Survey means you write what others said. Review means you write what others said, but you as a researcher, you also contribute by comparing, contrasting. That is called review. Right? In a proposal, actually, you are writing literature review, not literature survey. Okay. So therefore, when you write literature review, then you can write social media, you can write Facebook. When you do review, you do comparison. You can write some other part, Facebook and Twitter. Now, of course, it's X, right? Facebook and LinkedIn, Facebook and TikTok. You can have a comparative write-up. That is called review, compare. Right? So if you do so, your proposal will be a very colorful one. Right? Academic writing quality will be very high if you do so. That's why I put example and explain you how you are going to do that in your proposal thing. Right? Any questions up to now?
So far is good.
Right. Okay. Then I will go to the originality of the PowerPoint presentation. Last week, actually, we learned how to do a practical. because you have a task to do, your proposal write-up. And today we will connect that into the basic research methodology subject, right? Introduction part still we are doing. Research thing is something called research, right? Re means once more, afresh, a new, right? Or maybe you are thinking on some alternative views on that. That is called research. That's why I told you, your research topic itself can prove whether your research title is a researchable title or not. Should be variable connection. It should have a scope, some industry, generation, customer group. That scope should also be very clear. Right? And now you all are in social science research. Now remember, it depends actually. Now, if you are into medical field, their research proposal and our proposals are completely different. Right? Actually speaking, medical sector research we call applied research. They give medicine, they do experiment, and then check whether something has happened. That is their research. For example, they use, I think you know that, right? They use some rats or what you call mice or some small animals to test. You know that, right?
Yes.
So that is called action research. They see the results, they write.
Yes.
But we are in social science research. In social science research, rather we search what others did, literature, articles, likewise.
Yes.
Then we collect the data and then we are going to analyze whether same thing happened in here or not. Right? Okay. So original articles or theories, they said we have done this theories or research work in Europe. You get the same theory, same concept, and you are going to test with the employees or customers in Sri Lanka, maybe Bangladesh, maybe the country, right, wherever, right? So that you are going to test whether same thing will be repeated or will be different to country-wise. That is the nature of social science. Mm-hmm. But in applied science, based on the formula given by previous studies, you do the same thing, experiment. I use a term called experiment. And then you report the result. And that result will be the truth unless someone comes and proves that these results are wrong. Okay. That is called action, applied research. But we are in social science research. Remember social science. In social science, we are more into business side. I think you and the other student, right? So main area of business research, I mentioned marketing. So it includes branding, consumer behavior, advertising, online marketing, social media. CSR means corporate social responsibility, international business, tourism, etc., etc. Finance, corporate finance, stock market, profitability, all these are finance. Human resource management, employee motivation, employee welfare, all these we can consider as researchable topics or researchable areas, right? You and the other one definitely should include in the domain of social science. So then you can use a research title, including variables, something related to finance, business, costing, mainly process, quality, right? anything is possible. Only thing, the variables should be there in your research topic or title. Right. So now remember, we are in the domain of social science. Right. Okay. Now, your research topic, you are going to do the same area what I mentioned that day. Moment.
Yes.
Can
you repeat the question?
You are going to do the same topic what I mentioned last week, or you are going to search your own topic?
No, we keep it the same. We talk about the hotel, we talk about the knowledge brand and the commitment.
Okay, right. But you need to read now 1 or 2 articles. Do you know how to find the research articles in the Google?
Actually, I'm going to Google Scholar and I start step by step. Yeah, in books.
Okay, so actually Google Scholar you can find few articles, just 5 enough for entire proposal, right?
Oh yeah.
Because if you take one article, it has more than 50 references. Okay, so you can use the same references. No need to go and search the same original article there, right?
Yeah.
Our lives are easier now because of internet.
Yes, it's better than
and
before.
even you have these all software options, like AI tool in option for now research, right?
Yeah, it can make the research more easier.
More easier, but my advice, you can take the technical advantage, that's fine, but you read and comprehend.
Yeah, correct. In order to have a deep investigation or deep research.
Correct. Okay, so that's I want to say, like, you are into business studies, business scope. Some example I have put, like HRM, production, strategic management side, how you do it, right? This is what we discussed about. Okay. Now, today we are going to discuss about a new area. Actually, this comes to our third part of the research lessons, methodology, after writing the literature review, methodology. Okay. In the methodology, I will go with that topic itself, then things are easy you to understand. Research methodology. After writing the literature review, this is what you need to write. Research methodology. Okay. When you write research methodology part in a proposal, now just imagine you have done the research proposal starting from the introduction and everything you have done up to significance of the study, right? And after significance of study you explain, then the main area comes literature review. In the literature review, you can have, 1 or 2 or 3, somewhere 3 to 4 subtopics based on the variables you have included in your proposal or your document.
Okay.
So once the literature review is done, now in the proposal, actually this part is more complex and scientific part. Therefore, if you have anything to clarify, now itself you can ask, right? So now literature review is done. Yeah, done. Now you have to write methodology. Methodology means You have to educate to others, including your examiners, that this is how, if I am going to do the research, how I am going to do the research. The way of conducting the research is called methodology, right? In your methodology, one of the key areas is this main research approach you need to explain. Right, main research approach. So we have a look now. What is this main research approach? I'm going to highlight these two. Can you read these two words I put in red color?
Okay, we are talking here about inductive method and deductive method.
Correct. Can you just guess what do you mean by inductive? Here, let's see. You are going to search something. You are going to search about the medicine, right? So what does it mean inductive? When I say inductive.
I don't honestly.
It's too technical, right? Right. Deductive, I think same issue you have. Deductive. Okay, fine. I'll explain you in this way. Let's see. Because actually this happens if you happen to do the research and not only for proposal. Let's say you are doing a research. You ask from respondent. Respondent means the one who answer for your questions. You ask one question this way. How far you like Facebook to search products? Okay. This is the question, no? Then you give option for your respondent. Respondent means once you answer for your questions. You give options. How far? So you ask how far you can use. Frequently. Average. Very less. Right. Now, if I ask this question from you, Mohammed. Mohammed, how far you like Facebook to search products? What is your answer?
Very less.
Very less. So I will put very less. Understand? Now I'm going to ask, I'm going to ask a second question. Now you can understand the difference between inductive and deductive. Now you said very less, no? So then I'm the researcher. Now this is question number 1. So then I ask the second question. Why you do not use FB, Facebook, FB that much to search product? Now, Mohammed, what is your answer for this question?
Yeah, because I would prefer to read on the books rather than using the Facebook.
What is wrong with Facebook? Let's see. We are doing research. Now I'm asking from your question. Okay, I'm a researcher now. Why you don't trust Facebook as a good option to search products?
Because I feel comfortable when I'm reading books. So I prefer reading direct books rather than using Facebook.
To
So I
search
feel comfortable when I have when I have a book between my hands, so I feel comfortable.
Okay, now let's see. The first question I ask is relevant to deductive method. Understood?
Yes.
Red color, deductive. Second question I asked was inductive.
Okay.
Now, can you guess what do you mean by deductive and inductive?
So here I can see it's deductive, looking for some percentage, maybe. And for inductives, you are looking for a clear answer.
Yeah, of course.
So we're looking for a clear information.
From inductive or deductive?
Yes, inductive.
Right. Actually, I'm correct. Now you can understand research. You give the right answer.
Yeah.
Like this. It's like this.
Yeah.
It's like this. Now, if you are going to do a research to investigate what you know and investigate how others respond on already there as answers, right? So therefore, you don't ask descriptive questions from the audience or respondents, right? Now this one is not descriptive. Why? Answers I have given you, right? Okay, I think you got my point.
Yeah, I got it.
I have given 3 answers. So you can't talk anything else. You can't talk anything comes to your mind. Why? I restricted you to answer for 3, whether it's frequently, average, or very less. Why? I know.
It's like,
yeah, I know for this question there are only 3 questions. Sorry, 3 answers.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. 3 answers. I put the 3 answers here. That is
it's like
called
a combo.
yeah. That is called deductive. Deductive means answer is already there, right? You search, you further search, you further go step by step and see whether same responses are available in different countries, different markets, different communities. Understood? That is called deductive. Deductive research. If someone asks for deductive research, you can say deductive research is a research which is based on the existing knowledge. Then someone will ask, if existing knowledge is there, why you do the research? Obvious, right?
Yeah.
Then you can say, but we don't know whether that existing knowledge will be applicable to Dubai as it was in US. That is why we have to further investigate even though answers are available. That's the notion called deductive research. Right? Deductive.
Yeah.
Why I said second one inductive? I search articles, I search books. There were very less research or books available to say, right? Why some customers hate Facebook when they search products. Very less articles available. So you as a researcher, you thought then, okay, I myself will investigate. So you are not the first to do, but you may be the few amongst the first to do. Right? That is called inductive. Inductive means you yourself induct, you search, you research, you explore, you discover. That's called inductive research. In inductive research, you have to ask question as well. Open-ended questions. You got my point? Open-ended.
Yes. Yes.
So open-ended, you should not give this type of answers. Keep open like this. It's a question you keep couple of dot lights. They take anything they feel they know. So I think that is going to be the real truth of the society. So this is called inductive research. Right?
Okay.
Inductive research. Deductive research, inductive research. Because these two terms you should know very properly. Right. So are you clear now? Inductive versus deductive?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we'll take a quick 5 minutes break. I want to get a water break. We'll start again, no? Right?
Okay.
Right, we'll start. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Right, this term, two terms of when you write the research methodology, anyway, you have to explain. There are two research methods, inductive method and the deductive method. Inductive method means this, deductive method is this. Likewise, you give a little one or two citation and explain, right? And there's a mixed method that is called pluralist method, a mix of the both methods. It doesn't make a sense too much for this level. Only these two you explain, but remember you have to explain one thing. I propose you to take this approach because then it's easy for you to write. You can say your research is deductive research because in this case you are not going to do the research. Otherwise, if you happen to do research, you must develop a questionnaire, right? You must go for the data collection. You should justify the sample, right? So, but when you prepare the questionnaire, questions to be asked, this questionnaire, you simply refer the previous authors' books, literature sources to develop the question. So, therefore, you depend on others' work, deductive.
Okay. Yeah.
You explain your approach is deductive, right? You based on your topic, deductive approach because the variables you found from the literature and theories. There's some way of writing I will tell you in my next sessions, right? Karan, today you have,
because
yeah.
What I understand is that when you put your variables, so you find the interpretation of some of the authors about the point you are looking for. Then it's like, so you are deducting what you are talking about it. So everything is referenced.
Correct, very correct. So I think my next slide is exactly connected to your explanation. Now, can you see that slide?
Yeah.
This is called deductive, right? So we use employee brand knowledge and employee engagement. We call top-down approach. Top means theory.
Yeah.
Theory means, let's say, big one, like for engineers, you use the gravity principle, right? Gravity.
Correct, yeah.
It's a theory, right? So based on the gravity principle, a lot of engineers, a lot of practitioners, contractors, teachers, they have developed hypotheses. Hypothesis means possible results because of the gravity. Possible. Right?
Yes.
If you throw some stuff in the moon, this will happen. If you
are talking about hypothesis,
yeah, it's hypothesis means tentative. What do you call estimations, judging, right? But you judge, you think, you assume. Actually, this word is assumption. Hypothesis means assumption. But you can make assumption, but you have to really check whether your assumption is right or wrong, right?
So you need to prove it.
Yeah, prove. That is called, to prove that, last part, prove that you have to do observation. How? Select 150, 200 people and give questions about the gravity principle. And based on their responses, you analyze statistically. And then you prove whether you thought, it means assumption is right or wrong. That's called confirmation. Deductive. So you basically follow the same thing. Theories, let's say theory is called brand management theory. Hypothesis, we think if employees have good knowledge about the brand, they feel a lot of commitment to the brand or organization. Hypothesis. Are you sure it happens? We don't know. Then what happens is we develop a questionnaire based on the previous literature. So there will be 8 questions to be asked to check their, brand knowledge. 7 questions to be answered to check their commitment behavior. 15 questions you are going to ask. From where these 15 questions came, it came from different theories and literature, maybe previous books, previous articles. That is called deductive. Finally, you make a statement after analyzing the collected data. In Sri Lanka, 5-star hotel sector, when employee knowledge is increased, there's only average guarantee that employee commitment will be there. Average here, not 100% hardcore guarantee, average guarantee. The theory somewhat proved, somewhat was not proved in Sri Lankan 5-star hotels. That is correct. That is your confirmation. Right? So that's called deductive research. Deductive. Right. Now we are moving to inductive. Remember, deductive, you start from theory, right? Theory.
Theory, yeah.
So, inductive, from where I start? Observation.
Observation.
Who observed the gravity principle, that apple tree story? Isaac Newton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Your engineers, you learn, right, the gravity principle?
So because there is a call for prayer and they couldn't hear you properly.
Say, Isaac Newton once was, was near to a tree, apple tree. Suddenly, apple fallen down, and then he thought, why it fallen down rather going up. He observed, right?
Okay.
He observed. Start with observation.
Okay.
Very openly. Then he understood, not only this one, even when you go to coconut tree, the same coconut comes down rather going up, right? Pattern you confirm. Then tentative hypothesis, if you drop something from up, it goes down. You thought it will happen every time. You thought hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
You tested in different countries and finally same result came. So you develop what? Newton's theory.
Okay.
You make a theory. You made a theory.
Yeah.
So if you are doing qualitative, inductive research, remember, you happen to develop a theory, which is very, very difficult. Therefore, don't ask trouble. You say we are doing deductive research.
Right.
Okay. Inductive people introduce new things to the world.
Yes.
Albert Einstein followed inductive.
Yes, the persons, we call them design office, the persons who create the aircraft and the persons who are doing the stress and design of the aircraft, so we call them inductive.
Definitely.
And the job that I'm doing is deductive. So I'm getting the specifications, I'm getting the drawings, and I'm trying to have some hypothesis about some point which is not clear. Then we can discuss as a team, and finally we can prove that this is the understanding and this is the right reading of that, let's say, requirement.
Correct. Actually, you work in aircraft sector and basically you follow what they found.
Correct.
So actually what you do is deductive.
Deductive, yeah.
But the real founders, what they did was inductive.
The design office who create the aircraft, so they are doing the inductive.
Correct. Those who created it. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's simple way and you understood very nicely. Inductive, deductive.
And deductive.
Right now, all good then. So when you write the methodology, because next class I will explain you how to write the methodology. Today you learn what are the things come under methodology. First one is research approach, deductive or inductive.
Okay.
Right. Then there's something called research strategy. Right. There are two types of research strategy: qualitative research and quantitative research. Okay. Maybe a little heavy. So I'll stop from this part for the today's session, right? But absorb it very nicely. Yeah? Qualitative.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see. I will put example, then it's easy.
I have similar names I'm using actually in one of my, let's say, inspections. Let me explain to you what I have in my mind. Maybe I can make it easier for you. Some of the inspection that you have, I need to check if it is within tolerance. I need to write conform or non-conform. With regards to quantitative, I think, I need to put values. So I need to take the measurement, and then I'm going to put the values. So here I found 25.4, here 25.3, here 25.45. And by the way, it's going to support me in doing some statistical analysis that.
That's quantitative.
Yes. And with regards to qualitative, so I need just to inspect. If it is within tolerance, I'm going to write on my inspection document conform. If it is out of the tolerances, I'm going to write non-conform. No need to specify the values.
Yeah, exactly. That is qualitative. We'll take your example is very, very nice examples. See, in our general behavior, day-to-day life, we'll take day-to-day life, right?
Yeah.
You ask from a child, right? You ask from a child.
Yes.
How far you like to have say cheese? As your breakfast. You are from child, huh? How far you like to have cheese as your breakfast? So what sort of answers child would give you?
You know, childs, they like to eat cheese every day.
Yeah, they would say, every day. Sometimes I do not like. Let's see. Sometimes there are children like that.
Yeah.
So the three questions you got it. Three answers basically. Every day, sometimes I don't not like. So then what you do is, when you prepare a questionnaire for data collection, you provide these three options as possible answers. So you knew with your basic investigation, only 3-4 answers are there.
Yes.
So maybe first child said, I like every day. Second child said, I also like every day. One child says sometimes.
Sometimes.
And 3 children, 4 children, 5 children said sometimes. Suddenly one child said, no, I don't like. So now here 3, 5, 7 out of 8 children, 2 said every day, 5 said sometimes, 1 said I don't like.
Yes.
So actually this is quantitative. So
Yes.
you can count. You can count their responses.
Yes.
You can nicely say, in a quantified manner, out of 8 children, 2 children said they like to have cheese every day. 1 child said, I don't like it, never. 5 children said they prefer it to have sometimes basis. So you put basically values, quantities, and then explain the answers. So this is one of the options.
Okay,
so
so this is the quantitative.
Yeah, exactly, quantitative. Then you thought in the same research, why I always ask this limited question? I should ask an open-ended question. Next question you ask, right, from the child. What do you think about these brands? Now, children, what sort of answers they would tell you? They would tell you, I like that brand because it's tastier, but I don't like that brand because it's too hot or spicy. And I like the brands because they are advertising very nicely and attractively. I love to eat chocolate, not for breakfast, but whenever I'm having a fun time with my friends and all. And my mom always said not to eat cheese too much. Therefore, I don't eat too much, but I prefer cheese always, but I am not permitted to eat. Different thoughts they will tell you. Now the question is, you cannot quantify their thoughts, feelings. Actually, they are feelings, right? Emotions.
Correct. Yeah, I cannot have values.
You can measure it. These are called qualitative research.
Yeah.
Now, which research gives you more insights, quantitative or qualitative?
I would say quantitative.
But actually not. In quantitative, respondents are restricted for given answers. Right?
Correct. While doing the research, you're going to find many interpretation of different persons.
Correct. But if you do a qualitative, you can ask in-depth ideas, even hidden ideas, which you never knew, which is not in the books even.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you ask the same question about African children. They have never seen sometimes cheese, but they have heard about it. So they will give so fantastic answers, and they are open feelings to eat cheese.
Yeah.
You ask children from a country, these children normally use cheese. They have enough cheese for it. So they don't give you like very wow fact answer because it's a regular thing, but they have seen, but they have eaten. Right?
Yeah. Understand.
Correct. So if you want to give a real picture of people, better follow qualitative research.
Okay, I understand.
But the question is, you as a researcher, when you do qualitative, it's very difficult to collect the data because you have to go and interview the same person for half an hour, sometimes 1 hour. They talk freely, you cannot control it, you have to record everything, the recording devices. you have to go home and listen to the recorded device and do some summarization.
Yes,
That,
yes,
that's the challenge of qualitative, right?
yes,
Mm.
yes.
So now the connection is, remember, quantitative and qualitative connection is, right? If you do inductive, it means you yourself search which method is more suitable for inductive, qualitative or quantitative.
Qualitative.
Yeah, correct. Qualitative. Do
Yes,
you have to
because we
openly search?
start with
Yeah.
we start with observation. So we are talking about interpretation of many persons.
Correct.
So it's not limited.
Yeah. And in inductive research, we say you have to follow a qualitative research method. Don't develop exactly 10 questions, 15 questions, and go and just tick the points and come and analyze. No. Your inductive means you want to challenge, you want to find new knowledge. So search new knowledge in open-ended manner. Right? So in remember, therefore, inductive approach, you have to follow qualitative research method.
Correct.
Deductive approach, you are basically following quantitative research method. Quantitative, qualitative. But I restrict you, can't help. I said you to do deductive research.
Deductive.
Therefore, you are following a quantitative research method.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So far, you have any question? You can ask now.
So far, it's clear for me.
Is the point we discussed. Examples we discussed. Okay. Then I'm going to stop from here, right? And next day I thought of, because we have another 2 classes do. If I do on Saturday noon, are you okay? I'm talking of Sri Lanka time. Where do you stay? You are in Dubai or?
I'm in Abu Dhabi.
Now Abu Dhabi, what's the time now?
It's 7 p.m.
Okay.